chickens are dinosaurs, and I'm about to show you proof. Oh my gosh, look at this kale. This is my mom's petunia. Same thing, one plant, one plant. Look at all the blooms on this. Good morning, friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, I'm Laura. This is the Last Minute Laura channel, and usually when you come here you can find me making something or doing something crafty. Today, it's the weekend and I have a goal. I have a bunch of chickens. Here beside our house we have a lilac tree. It didn't bloom at all last year. It bloomed the first year we lived here, but now it's blooming again, so I'm going to collect some of the blooms, not for a bouquet in a vase. We are going to do some preserving. We're gonna do something. I haven't 100% decided yet. I have jars, so we could do a lilac syrup, a lilac sugar, a lilac oil, or dried lilac. But regardless of how we're gonna do it, we are going to need to start by collecting some lilac. So I'm gonna do that now, and then we will figure out what we're gonna make with it. So let's do that. There we go. A nice full basket. But still lots left for the bees. So now that we've gotten our first task of the day done, it's time to get the second one. It's about 6:15 in the morning now. The sun is breaking. The day has started, and as you heard while I was collecting the lilac blossoms, the rooster would like to come out. So let's go let the chickens out next. Come on. Good morning. Hi, babies. Hi. This is not the official garden tour of the day, so don't get situated and ready for that because I'm doing that later. But I do have quite a few I do have quite a few flowers already blooming now, which is making me very happy. So I'll just show you a couple right here. So beautiful. Alex mowed the lawn and gave all the grass clippings to the chickens, and it's drying out and turning to like hay, and they are having a lot of fun with it. These are all the babies. Well, that's sunflower, but these are all babies. So fun. All right, so job number 2 is now done. Let's sit down for a second so I can just sort of tell you the plans for the day. Okay, so my plan for today is mostly inside jobs. Again, another weekend where we are being told we're getting rain all weekend, and we didn't get any rain yesterday, and there's no clouds in the sky this morning, but we are supposed to get rain. So we need rain, so I'm hoping we are going to get it. But regardless if we get rain or not, now that I've picked these lilacs, we do have to get working on them because they only are going to be nice and pretty and pale purple for a little while. So we have to get them preserved to keep in the smell and the color. So the lilac preserve is one of the main things for today. In addition to that, I plan on showing you the chickens. I want to do a full garden tour with you so you can see how everything is coming along, because we are getting some like crazy growth coming. I'll give you an update on the chicks. I'll give you an update on all the mamas. Ooh, and I put some new eggs into the incubator, which is very exciting. I think this may be one of our last batches for the summer. I don't plan on having 100 chickens after all, but I do think this may be our last batch for the summer. If not the last batch for the summer, at least the last batch for a little while. So I will show you the eggs we've got in the incubator, and maybe if we've got any development, I'll do candling so you can see the actual little baby chicks, the embryos moving around inside their eggs. Now that we've got the chickens out and the lilac trimmed, I am going to let the lilac sit outside for about an hour this morning while the sun is still not harsh. That will allow any of the little bugs that have been living on the I keep calling it lavender. The bugs living on the lilac have the opportunity to leave. So while we wait for that to happen, let's go make a tea from last week's homemade tea. If you were here for last week's vlog, I made a tea from wild violet blooms, peppermint and spearmint and mojito mint and creeping mint and wild mint and chocolate mint. I have a lot of types of mint and I harvested some. So we did mint, raspberry leaves, what did I just say? Violet blossoms. I feel like there was something else in there. Chamomile? Anyway, let's go make some tea and see how it turned out. See if it actually turns purple from those violet blossoms. Okay, here we go. I gave it about 4 minutes. Peppermint tea I leave a little longer. So much for the purple, more of a mint tea. Works for me. Okay, so I'm gonna sit down and have my cup of tea now, and when I finish, it should be long enough for us to get started on the lilac, but I'm gonna check my notes and see what my plans are for today, and I'll let you in on some of the other stuff we're gonna get done after I get my day started. I woke up very recently, so I need to have tea. I know there's no caffeine in that tea. I'll probably end up having another tea. A red rose, orange pico, with a little bit of cashew milk. For now, I'm gonna start with my homemade tea and I'll let you know how it is. Actually, let's do a taste test now together. My tea, it's still obviously very hot, which is not typically how I drink my tea. I wait a little while, but it tastes like mint tea. There are raspberry leaves in it and there is wild violet in it. So it's not just mint tea, but it just tastes the same as mint tea. Okay, see you in a little bit. Ooh, hanging plants. So happily hanging. I'll show you them later. Okay friends, it's a little bit later in the morning now, about 9:30. The sun is all the way up. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning. I have woken up obviously, and it's time to feed the chickens, take the blossoms off of the lilac, and well, let's start with that. I do want to show you my houseplants because I've moved them around a little bit, but let's start with feeding the chickens and separating those blossoms so that we can get started on the lilac sugar. But first, before we feed the chickens, I want to take a little run around the perimeter of the property looking for some really big healthy dandelions that I can pick the leaves from to give the chickens. They love dandelion leaves. And Alex just cut the lawn, so it's not as easy to find them right now. So I'm gonna grab a few handfuls of them to add to the food. Let's go do it. Okay, so I know all dandelions are dandelions, but when I'm looking to get the chickens a really nice treat, I like to find them like a dandelion like this, one that's been like undisturbed and able to do full growth. Yeah, it's a little extra, but they love it. They really do. And I think that they appreciate it in their own chickeny way. Of course, these lovely dandelions are all coming up in this patch of creeping Charlie, which chickens do not eat. Technically poison for them, but they just don't eat it. They're stupid in a lot of ways, but they know what they're able to eat. So this is not one of those things. Dandelions, on the other hand, eat them all. I'll just grab a few more handfuls and then we'll go. Got them. Now let's go feed the girls and the babies and the boys. I guess let's just feed the chickens. It's not really just feeding the hens anymore. Let's feed the chickens. You guys know what time it is. Good morning. Look, I made these cute planters yesterday. Hi everybody. Thank you for not breaking out. Good morning. Excuse me. Just gonna put the greens over here in the shade so that they stay nice and green long. Long enough for Poppy to go through them. Okay, so now that everybody has their food, I'm just gonna go grab the lilac and a bowl. That's it, you guys have some already. Anyway, I'm gonna get a bowl and my lilac blossoms, and then I'm gonna come back here and sit with the chickens while I pull off the flowers. I really do want to sit with you guys, but since you are offering me so much help, which I do not really need, the baby birds want to help me with these lilacs, I'm just gonna sit in my garden near them so I can talk with them and watch them eat and hang out. But I'm gonna be putting now, clean bowl, I'm gonna pull off the blossoms, just the blossoms, and I'm gonna fill up my bowl. So, how are you doing? I figure while I do this job, we can hang out a little bit and I can give you a couple of updates, some fun things going on. Do you hear the baby birds in the back? Whenever I start talking, they come to where I'm at because they think I'm talking to them. Hi guys! Anyway, some good news, some fun news. We've got lots that's gone on in the last little bit. Good news number one, I'm vaccinated. That's exciting. I don't want feedback. I'm just letting you know something I'm excited about. But also, my dog and cat have now both been to the vet. Peekaboo has gone to the vet. She has been estimated at 2 to 3 years old, which is, you know, kind of around the age we thought. They did say she looked like she's had kittens before, which we also thought. And we've got her booked in for her spay now, which is awesome. Thunder has had all of his vaccines, and we have him booked in for his dental, or we have him booked in for his preliminary blood work before his dental. Also, the whole garden is in pretty much, so that's awesome news. I have 6 flats of cell packs left that need to go in the ground, but those aren't ready to go in the ground. So those are all of my seedlings of calendula and more nasturtium. I've got the Alaskan dwarf mix. Can you hear that chicken in the coop? I'm gonna show you her in a few minutes. Anyway, the Alaskan dwarf mix nasturtiums have not yet come up. I still have some calendula, I still have a few zinnias, and I have a lot of cosmos still coming up. So those things are going to stay in the cell trays probably another week before they have enough roots to get put in the garden. But other than that, the whole garden is put in. I will probably pick up a few more plants from my mom after her plant sale finishes. This weekend is my mom and dad's big farm plant sale with where they get rid of probably 90% of their plants. So I'll pick up probably a couple more tomatoes, maybe a tomatillo, maybe a ground cherry, and some herbs and things. Whatever's left over from the plant sale, I will grab a few of to put around in my garden. But everything that I grew to put in my garden is in my garden. I'm very excited to show it to you because I have, let me see, just in the garden bed that you're sitting in, I have rainbow chard, dinosaur kale, red kale, a whole bunch of flowers. I've got red petunias, I've got these really tropical looking red flowers, I've got so many nasturtium. I think I'm actually sitting on a nasturtium where I'm sitting right now. I've got yellow zucchini. I think they were called straight neck squash, but I mean, to me it was just a yellow zucchini. I also have green beans, yellow beans, these weird speckly red beans, and then I have snow peas, sugar snap peas, and oh, look at that, that's joyful. I'm gonna be able to show you something quite happy later. The beans we put in last week, the scarlet red runner beans, they've sprouted. Today is a beautiful day. It's supposed to be raining right now, but it's not. There's very few clouds in the sky. It's a little windy, so maybe it'll rain later, but I'm in a glorious mood. I'm a little tired. Yesterday I was a little tired. No side effects like feeling sick or anything, but I was a little tired, so I just played in the garden most of the day and got the rest of the garden planted, and then watered the whole thing, and then Alex mowed the lawn. It's basically been another great weekend. So Now I'm almost done this job. Sorry if that was long and drawn out and not interesting, but that's stuff that's going on here. What perfect timing. My love just got home. He went to the junkyard. He's been fixing our car, like as a hobby lately. He's been like going to the junkyard and picking up stuff for our car. So he just went and picked up some of the stuff that he took apart a car. Did you bring that for me?
Yeah.
Wow, you're so sweet. Anyway, Alex just brought me coffee, coffee. It's an ice cap. Fancy frozen coffee drink. I'm pretty much done with my flowers now. I've got a nice full bowl of lilac. I'm going to set these aside and play in the garden a little while, and then when I'm feeling ready for it, we will make this into some lilac preserve. You want to smell?
Yummy. One of my favorite smells because I can smell it.
Yeah.
I like your tripod.
It's actually a quadrupod. This is my first season gardening flowers, and I have a very, I don't want to thin them. It's like you're supposed to thin them so that there's not so many. And I'm wondering, like, can I transplant them instead of thinning them? Because I feel like I brought them to life. I feel like I don't want to just pull out ones, you know? Anyway, these are going to be cosmos. More cosmos. Zinnia. I don't know which ones are the poppies, but there are poppies in here too. I feel like we don't have a chicken named Zinnia. And the number of zinnias and cosmos and zinnias, cosmos, big bird shadow. Oh, it's turkey vultures. Jeez Louise, they're in our backyard. Anyway, oh, there's another one. What was I trying to say? Bachelor's buttons, zinnias, poppies, and cosmos. We already have a poppy, but we don't have cosmo or zinnia. Maybe that should be some of the name options for the new chicks. It's also really bright out here. Look at these turkey vultures. They don't look nearly as big as they are. Let me see if I can get a little closer before they fly off. That's a no. But they are big. They could take away thunder for sure. They most likely would not, as they are more interested in finding dead things. But if they put their mind to it, those little dudes could take away thunder. So that's why when you live on a farm and you have a small dog, you don't just let your dog out, you have to go with them. I mean, maybe that's for all dogs, but for sure for Thunder, because like he could get taken away by so many things. A big raccoon could take Thunder away. Anyway, let's go. Sorry, these birds are now distracting me. Let's go. I'm gonna play in my garden for a little while. I don't even know what this is actually for, but it's like a little watering can, and I filled it up with some of the flowers blooming in the garden today. So there's these, woo, really pretty pink ones, some forget-me-nots up there, some snow in summer has started blooming, some geraniums, a big yellow flower. Aren't they nice? So now it's time to get the lilac blossom sugar. That's what I've decided we're gonna make. We're gonna do a lilac sugar. So basically we're gonna do a little layer of petals, a layer of sugar, petal, sugar, petal, sugar, and we're gonna let that sit for about a week to let the sugar draw out all of the moisture, and then we're gonna mix it all up so that it is, hopefully, if we can do what Pinterest is doing, hopefully it's gonna be like a purple sugar. That would be nice. So it turns out I have a little bit more like labor to do first. So let me show you what I'm working on. Okay, so I picked most of the flowers off, but I do have green left behind here. And the green on everything I've read online is bitter, and the flowers themselves aren't totally sweet. So you want to remove every green bit. So I have to do that. That's gonna take me a little bit of time. But luckily, since these were sitting outside where they were able to just sort of wilt because of the heat, the petals are now separating pretty easily, whereas when I was picking them before, that's not what was happening. I will do visual inspections, but I'm not going to be washing these blossoms because they were not sprayed with any pesticides. There should be no creepy crawlies. Honestly, if that grosses you out, I totally understand, but I live in like the country. There's bugs on everything. And also, I grew up with a mom who grew a lot of food in the summer, so there's just, you eat carrots with a little bit of dirt on them, it's fine. My kitchen smells amazing. It's like 30 degrees in my house right now. So now it's time to put this stuff together. So I don't think I'm gonna make a huge jar. I think I'll just do like a little jar. The whole house, or at least the whole main floor, smells like lilac and it's amazing. I'm dying, I'm sweating. So I am going to now get the jar ready, which I've got down here. The jar, the lid, and I'm gonna get the sugar out. So let's do that now. For this part now, I've got a clean, dry jar. I've just rinsed it out one more time and then dried it out. I'm not gonna be doing any measuring. So I'm gonna put a little bit of sugar down at the bottom of the jar, and then a nice layer of lilac, and then sugar, and then lilac, and I'm just gonna keep doing that until the jar is full. You can see the little lilac blossoms in the sugar. And now this is just gonna sit for a couple of weeks in the cupboard, and I'm gonna check on it and we'll see it then. But that's the whole thing. All the rest of these lilac flowers I am going to dehydrate for that wedding project that I don't stop talking about in the stream, honestly, but I think I'm gonna make a whole video about it, so this is gonna get added to that pile of flowers that are being dried out for a secret wedding project that's not a secret. I have hung up a few more plant hangers so that I could have more plants hanging, obviously. This one's doing really well. Heartleaf philodendron, and my very big asparagus fern is still living its best life, just doing its thing. My peperomia hope happily pointing towards the window with some new growth, which makes me happy. I moved another terrarium over here so it can have a chance to get some really good light. This terrarium, I am loving how it's looking right now. This plant really made a comeback, which makes me very happy. This is an old plant, I'm glad it made it. And some of that forest moss we got last week ended up in this terrarium as well. Along with that tree that we brought home from the forest. It's been pretty okay. We lost one branch, but the rest of it is looking all right. I showed you this mother of thousands a couple of weeks ago in a vlog, but I want to show you how much larger those, oh gosh, they're barely even, they just snap right off of the plant, which is why they're called mother of thousands. These things will root anywhere, but they're much bigger this week. So let's give them a chance. Good luck. And my string of hearts is doing really well. Super cute. That very weird large peperomia, still doing okay. Still needs to be repotted and I'm still too scared to do it. My peace lily has put out a couple more flowers. Oh, this is also some fun news. My Adansonii appears to have been making a recovery, which is great. Snake plant's doing okay. So there's a brief plant tour. I mean, I do have a lot more plants. Obviously, they're spread all out through the house now, but I have been paying a lot more attention to my outside plants. Okay, so I'm outside and it looks like it's about to rain, so I don't want to have the camera out with me, but I have a few packets of seeds that Candace gave me, thank you Candace, for some poppies that I don't know if they're gonna sprout, but I figure I do know where the plants in my big flower bed, I do know where they sprouted already, so I know where there are empty spaces. So I'm just gonna fill them with these seeds. No harm in trying. Best case scenario, they sprout. Worst case scenario, they're like basically mulch for the garden. So let's see if we can get some poppies to come up. Hey everybody, it is evening now, and I thought now would be a good time to start the garden tour. I'm trying to find a place to start this in a way that isn't having the sun blind me. It doesn't look like that's possible. So let's start the garden tour here, where I've got my hostas and my cosmos. Let me show you what I'm growing and how it has progressed since last week's garden tour. So this garden is mostly shade later in the summer because this decorative willow kind of shades everything out. So there's lots of hostas in here, but I did put some zinnias and some cosmos. I've got some blooming cosmos, very happy. I also transplanted all of these wild violets and they seem to have taken. There's a few of them that are still struggling over there, but for the most part, everything looks pretty good in this bed, and I've got my two little ostrich ferns at the back there. Not a very exciting garden yet, but it will be pretty. Next, I'm moving on to the one that I keep saying is the most exciting bed, the one that I'm very excited to see come into flower, and that is the zinnia bed. So there are other flowers. I have a nasturtium here. I have some petunias scattered throughout. I've got some snapdragons in here as well. I cut the blooms off of the snapdragons. Actually, we could do that together while we're talking because they looked like the plants were struggling a little bit and I wanted to give them a better shot. I actually have to do that to all of the zinnias. I just feel like it's gonna break my heart, but I know it's like good for the plant. Maybe we should just do that now. You're supposed to get the second set of leaves and just like pinch it off. And this is just garbage now, but that will mean that instead of there just being one stem here, now there will be two stems. I feel like I should just commit to it. Okay, let's just do it now really quick. All right, that was heartbreaking, but apparently that will make all the difference for these plants. Ugh. This next garden that we're going into, I'm really excited about it too because a lot of flowers have sprouted since last week. You can't see me at the same time, so I'm just gonna show you it from my point of view. My petunias are blooming, these really pretty pink ones. So nice. And then I think this is another type of snapdragon, but it doesn't have any blooms on it yet. Honestly, I should pull off flowers off of everything right now, but I can't. I'll pull off some. Not all of them though. Anyway, the growth we've had this week in the kale is magical. Look at how much kale we have right now here. The chard looks wonderful. Oh my gosh, look at this kale. That's totally big enough to pull some off of. We'll grab those and we'll take them to the chickens after. The rainbow chard looks good. Dinosaur kale looks great. I planted some radishes right here. Zinnias, I'm gonna let this one bloom because it makes me happy to see. I'm not emotionally ready to rip off all of the heads off of those ones too. But yeah, this garden has lots of kale. I'm sorry, I'm very distracted. I've got tomatoes here and here. I've got marigolds and calendula and zinnias there. I've got my sweet alyssum lining my pathway. And then some chamomile and some bush basil, some bluish purple petunias and a red petunia. Look, this is what's so exciting since last week. Look, nasturtium, 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 nasturtium! I'm so excited to see these things like get big. These are all seedlings for flowers. I don't know what flowers just yet. I know that there are poppies and zinnias and cosmos and bachelor's buttons planted here. And then over here, we've got more kale, tons and tons and tons of kale. Kale, 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 kale. A couple of zinnias at the back there, and then back to that calendula. And then here I've got green zucchinis. So that's awesome. Pretty awesome. It's filling in really well. Look at all these greens we just got. I think it's a good time to take a break from our garden tour to give some treats to the birds. What do you think? What do you think, everybody? It's kale season, girls. Look at all those babies under the tree. Hi, guys. That was fun. Actually, let's collect the eggs while we're here. It's that time of day anyway. I've been out gardening all day and I look like a wild woman. Okay, what I was trying to tell you earlier in the day is we have a chicken who is broody. So Sweet Pea, our little bantam hen, is thinking that she is sitting on eggs to have babies. So she has stopped laying eggs and she gets very vocal when you come near her. She's not mean or anything, but I just want to show you the sound she makes because they're definitely dinosaurs. Chickens are dinosaurs and I'm about to show you proof. Here's Miss Sweet Pea in her nest box, pretending that she doesn't exist while I'm in here. But if I go to say hello... Hi, Grumpy. Hi. Hi, Grumpy lady. Yeah. Can I get in here? Can I just See if there's any eggs under you. Can I just take those eggos? Oh, thank you. Oh, you're so lovely. I'll come back and I'll bring you some babies in like 2 weeks. You don't believe that. Look at how angry she is. Oh, my poor baby. Tell me that's not the sound of a dinosaur. You're a dinosaur. She's for sure a dinosaur. But she's a friendly dinosaur, so... Okay. I'm not gonna bother you anymore. I'm just collecting the eggs. My plan now that she's broody is, instead of interrupting her broodiness, because they stay broody for about a month, about 21 days, the time it takes for eggs to hatch is how long chickens stay broody for. Let me just put you guys down for a sec. Chickens stay broody for about 21 days because that's how long it takes to hatch an egg. So since I already have eggs in the incubator right now, I have 4 of sweet peas eggs in the incubator. So in theory, in 2 weeks when they hatch, I can slip those babies underneath sweet pea and possibly she'll raise them. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to be too set on it. Like if she doesn't want to be a mama once they're here, that's okay. You sure think you want to be a mama, don't ya? A little dinosaur. I kick her out of there 2 or 3 times a day off the nest just to make sure that she eats and drinks water, because it is warm, and although it's very unlikely, if it gets really hot and chickens are broody, they can like stop eating or drinking because they're like, they have stupid baby brain, and essentially they can like make themselves hurt or die by not taking care of themselves. I need like extra hands. So our eggs for today, why don't I show you them while we're here? I've got this really pretty brown one. This one here is from Clementine. Then we've got Buttercup. With the one that I broke, we ended up with 10 eggs today. Just love these dark ones. They're just so neat, aren't they? And when you see it next to that beautiful green, wow! Back to the garden tour. Actually, this is a really good place for us to take another look at something plant related that isn't technically a garden tour, but technically it will be. I have more plants that haven't gone into the ground yet. I transplanted many of my seedlings from the like initial germination tray up into the 4-cell seedling packs. And I'm going to show you what I have left that has not yet gone in the ground. Everything else I have has gone in the ground, so we're almost fully planted now. So this is what I've got on the back porch. I do have my string of turtles out here. It's not getting any direct sun right now, don't worry, but I'm thinking I want to try and get it to live outside this summer, so this is where it's practicing. And then I've got, this is all calendula. Well, not all of it, sorry. This is chamomile, 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 but calendula, 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 calendula. This is a Cosmo. I don't know why it's there. And then we've got more calendula, more calendula, more calendula. All this is calendula. This is lettuce leaf basil, more lettuce leaf basil, some cosmos in here. I've got some marigolds, some cosmos. This is mostly cosmos. This is mostly cosmos. But there's also bachelor's buttons and poppies in here as well. So this is gonna be pretty much mostly just flowers. And since we're right by the porch, let's just go right into the herb garden because that's the closest one to the porch area. Herb garden's doing well. Oh, sorry there, little begonia. It's kind of struggling here. I might move it. It's not struggling because anything's wrong with it. It's struggling because it keeps getting smacked with the hose. Okay, anywho, my oregano is taking off, doing really well, looking pretty happy. Petunias are doing great. They're blooming new flowers every day. I did blue ones here. Parsley is coming back from the initial destruction that the bunnies brought, but it seems to be all right. This is flowering now. Wasn't flowering last week. Pretty. Don't know what it is, but lovely. Alyssum spreading still. Now there are some nasturtiums coming up in here. I've got one here, and then there's another one in the middle over there. Mint is super healthy looking. Whatever this weed is looking really healthy. I'm actually gonna pull some back because this is very aggressive and I don't want it to get out of hand. But I do like how it looks, so we'll just keep it here, but we won't let it flower and we won't let it spread too much. There we go, that's better. Mint has come back with a vengeance since last week. I've got tons of new growth tips that I could pick for tea already, and I actually might. We've got a strawberry coming along and a couple extra blossoms there. Super happy about that. More mint that is just banging. More mint, more alyssum, and chamomile is so close to being like a harvestable thing. It's gonna be the first thing that we start to harvest, except for peppermint. I've been harvesting a lot of mint. Why, hello there. Would you like to join me for the garden tour?
Aye.
I also have over here a sunflower that came out of the ground from the bird seed, and I let it stay because I think that's fun. And then catnip is spreading. Did you know it spread so much? Look how much catnip there is now. It's like growing sideways. Love that. Love that for peekaboo. The mint, again, crazy. We just picked all of it last week. I picked all of the growth points and it's almost fully grown back. The creeping mint looks amazing. Smells amazing. It's creeping so well. Look at this spread we're getting. It's gonna take over the ground. I'm so happy. My creeping thyme has also started to creep away, which is great. And it's starting to flower with these little purple flowers, which is cute. And then I've got silver thyme with a stowaway dill, a dill snuck in somehow over here, which makes me so happy. I love the idea that there are volunteer dills. Another volunteer dill. Another volunteer dill, so happy. Rosemary looking amaze. Other thyme looking amazing. Lemon thyme looking amazing. I'm touching all these things and, oh gosh, smell this. Doesn't that smell good?
Timey.
And then I've got my sages. I've got my tricolor sage, my bicolor sage, and then my green sage. I think I have a white sage somewhere, but it was like, it's a copy of my mom's and I don't know where it is. I want you to see the creeping mint again. I know I already showed it to you over there, but look at this creeping mint. It's like heading away. I'm so happy about it. It's probably one of my favorite plants this year, the creeping mint. So that's that for that. The herb garden looks good. Now, let's go look at the big flower garden. It's like cut flowers. It's where we're gonna be getting our wedding flowers from, where I'm going to be getting bouquets from all summer, where I'm going to be giving bouquets to people all summer. Maybe we'll sell some bouquets. Let's go look at that garden though. Okay, so it's a little bit bright, so sorry if I'm not looking right at you, but I promise that I'm talking to you. So here is another bed of kale, but I've put a whole bunch of flowers in with the kale. Well, not just kale, like this is rainbow chard. And more rainbow chard over here, but I've put in a bunch of flowers like these red ones. I thought they looked tropical and cute. Alex liked them, so we picked them up. I've got the red petunias in this bed as well. Also these purple daisies. I don't know that they're daisies. So many of our green beans have come up this week. Sorry, I'm picking not green beans right now. Our green beans, so many of them have come up and they're doing really well now. Like, look at those. So I piled up the dirt today against the fence so that they would have more dirt to climb against before they hit the fence, and hopefully this will also make it so that the chickens can't like dig at them from underneath the fence, because they are so excited to eat all the greens from the garden. Over here I've got my yellow zucchinis. On the other garden was green zucchini, so these ones are yellow zucchinis. I've got 4 of them here. So it's going to be zucchini, peppers here, and then all the green beans go all the way down the fence. This is all calendula, this rectangle here in front of me. And then this triangle here is all cosmos. And then over here in this section, I've got more yellow zucchini. So I've got yellow zucchini all the way here and yellow zucchini all the way over there. And then over here, I've got like flowers in the front. I've got some snapdragons, some, I think this is some kind of daisy. Surrounding this whole bed is the red Russian kale. So there's a kale, 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 kale. Every 12 inches, there is a red Russian kale all the way around the bed. And hopefully that will make for a huge amount of kale. This is something really exciting for this week as well. this garden has sprouted. So I've got cosmos going all the way down the row, and I'm like internally screaming because I don't know how emotionally I'm going to like thin these, like pulling out some and deciding, oh, it just feels so awful. I just want a good far away shot from it too, so they can see the paths we put in. I think that we did a good job on them.
I think so.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I hope it feels like how it feels for me. It feels awesome. Each one of these garden beds is a different like thing, but it's all going to have flowers scattered throughout. So in the end, it's going to be like this. It's like an orchestra. I'm literally like planting a symphony. There's beans over here, and there's kale over here, and there's tomatoes up front, and there's cosmos galore. You know? So this is the last garden. The last big garden. I mean, we have the whole front garden, but that's kind of like a walkway, whereas this is like a planted bed. At the front, we've got mostly flowers. I tried to edge all of the gardens with flowers so that it would be kind of like amazing. Beautiful. But we also have some food in here too. So I put in some peppers today. They're very small, you'll barely see them. But my my lettuce leaf basil has now sprouted and is looking really good here. I'm really happy about it. This is all lettuce leaf basil here. And then I've got a nasturtium with some secret marigolds. And then this is a whole bunch of marigolds. I'm just gonna see what happens. I'm not really gonna bother them. Then over here we've got, I keep calling those things daisies. Does anyone know what they are? This. It's not a daisy, but this is what the flower looks like. That's all here. Over on this side we've got zinnias. They're growing. I'm happy about it. On this side I have peas, and I've got lots coming up. Today I've got several new shoots coming out of the ground from the peas, which I'm happy about. Probably it'll be like 1 month and we'll be eating peas out of our garden. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Sorry again about wincing at you. It's because this guy is bright. Also in front here, I've got butternut squash. So butternut squash here, butternut squash here, butternut squash here, and butternut squash here. And then here, this pile, I planted cucumbers. So I planted probably like 20 cucumber seeds just because I got the whole packet wet because I wasn't paying attention. So now there are cucumbers. So I planted them on that side of our garden and on this side. And then I put this metal chair and then half of a cattle kennel. It's very like high tech here. The cucumbers can climb up the chair and then over, and the cucumbers on the other side can climb over and then like that. But for now, until the cucumbers are growing, I put a basket full of flowers. Of course Poppy does. Hey Poppy. You want some? Okay. See, this little girl has already figured out. I'm pretty sure that's a girl. So this is going to be, it's mostly in shade through most of the day. So I planted a lot of hostas here. I transplanted a lot of hostas. I took them from other spots in our yard, but now you can see they're all coming up, which is great. I also put a chamomile in here because I put a chamomile everywhere. I cleared out this garden today. That's why there's this mess. I have to plant this. I think I'm going to plant this entire section with calendula because I thought that would be fun. I put cardboard underneath and then dirt on top, but I have not planted yet. But I think that it would be nice if this whole area was big, tall, yellow flowers. Wouldn't that be pretty? There's not a huge amount to show for this week in this garden, but I think probably by next week there will be quite a lot more because we're supposed to get rain. Look how cute these little ones are. And the little alyssum, they look so sweet. And I think that all these colors look so cute when you add the orange in. I think it's going to be really pretty. And the dahlia, zinnia, dahlia, question mark, one of those things, doing pretty well. I'm actually going to deadhead that. There. And then we put more of the red petunias in, which is great. So this garden, I'm really excited to see it like fully bloom because all the colors in here are so happy. There's like so much pink and purple and red and then like random orange. It's going to be so fun. I think this is going to look great once it's all filled in. Then next set, I've got more of those daisies here. I don't know what colors I put here. I just filled them in. The red petunias, white and yellow. The yellow ones though are like super pale. Might be mistaken for white, but then I got an actual white one. And the hostas put out so many leaves, which is great. Mom, look at the petunia. Let me show you. This is the difference between a garden center versus my mom. So this is from a garden center, just a typical, any garden center that you get petunias from in the spring. This is my mom's petunia. Same thing, one plant, one plant. Look at all the blooms on this. None of the blooms are like spent. They're all just like wide open or about to open. And it's like, Alex explained it as like, the color hurts my eyes. The color hurts your eyes. It doesn't look like a real color. I'm happy I put it like on its own so that it can spread. And then these flanking colored ones, flanking it, I think it's gonna look really beautiful. And then look, the zinnias are doing well here. I'm actually gonna I'm going to pin them back. So the camera battery died. Apologies for the jump cut from the garden tour. Not much has changed in the front garden. The garden is beautiful. That is basically the summary of the garden for this week. I am really excited for next week because I know that a huge amount of growth is gonna happen. Anyway though, it's around 7:30 now. The sun is getting ready to go down. It's almost time to put the chickens away, but I thought it would be a good time to show you what I've got in the incubator down here. Here's the incubator. You can probably hear the humming of the incubator working. And like I said, I think this might be our last batch for quite some time. I mean, never say never. I've been having a lot of fun with these hatches. Anyway, I think this clutch of eggs might be our last for a little while. It might be our last of the summer even. I'm not 100% sure on that, but maybe. So I thought I would show you what we've got in there right now, and we could candle them together and see if we can see any development inside the eggs. So let's see how these eggs are going. This is another one of Sweet Pea's babies. You see it moving around in there? See the little baby bird? The dark spot is the eye. So that's his little head. Little dinosaur. Anyway, I hope that was interesting. I find it interesting. I haven't touched these at all since I put them in. I'm quite a hands-on person with everything. I like to touch things. I like to look at things. I like to be involved. But these ones, this is the first time that I am opening the incubator. So now I'm gonna close it back up and we'll see them again in a week. There we go. Holy moly, what a cozy kitty. Hey there, pretty lady. How you doing this evening? You been working hard today? Do you hear this loud purring? We could be friends, see? We could be cuddle buddies. It's pretty much all I want in the world is cats to want to sit with me. She was not very happy to see me when we met, and now it seems we're vibing. I am just gonna sit here with the lovely Miss Peekaboo for 15-20 minutes until the sun starts to go down, and then it'll be time to pack the chickens up for the night and get everybody ready for bed. So, are you so needy, Thunder? Hi. Sit. Sit. Good boy. You're a good boy. Are you jealous of Peekaboo? Are you jealous? Thunder just had his breakfast and went outside. But he's so jealous because Peekaboo's sitting here getting affection. What am I gonna do? What are you gonna do, Thunder? Speak! Good boy! Good boy! Okay, go lie down. You wanna go outside, get ready to put the girls away? Peekaboo's over it. She's with the food. Look at this chunky lady. You're so chunky. You chunky girl. Look at these goofy birds. This is one of Diane's babies. Hi. Hi. What do you think, girl or boy? Also, is this not the cutest little bird? Hi. Look at those little spots. Hi. These ones are the least shy. Their moms are the white birds and their dads are this guy. And they are so friendly. Hi. Hi. Aren't those spots so cute? Hi, Olive. This one is Marshmallow's baby. This one is Daisy or Fern's baby. That one's Diane's. That one's also Diane's. This one here is Olive's baby. And then back there, that's Marshmallow as well. And this one here is Buttercup. And that one's also Marshmallow's. Oh gosh. And there's Mama. Mama Diane. What do you think, girl or boy? I think this one's a boy. I hope this one's a girl. Hi. I think this one's a girl. And I think that one probably is a boy. But I hope it's a girl. The reason I keep saying I hope it's a girl is because they will lay eggs, and also because we won't have to worry about them getting along with anybody in our flock. We don't know how many roosters our flock can tolerate yet. We're not expecting to get too many roosters this year to keep. We're expecting maybe of keeping one additional rooster, and that would only be if the Silky that we have, the babies, turns out to be a boy. But the reason we are excited about girls is because all of these babies are mixed Easter egger. So the dad is an Easter egger. He has the blue egg gene mixed with all different color egg layer moms. So the babies will have blue influence on their eggs. So for example, Diane, my favorite chicken, her eggs are brown. And if we mix brown with blue, we get sort of an army green. And then Olive, right here, her eggs are green, and when we mix blue in with the green, we get a little bit more of like a turquoise. So it's just an interesting kind of experiment to see how the colors are affected by mixing these two beautiful birds. But there are some beautiful colors that have come out of this mix. Like these three are all Marshmallow's babies. Those three. They're all different colors and they're all so beautiful. And if they're girls, they're gonna lay exceptional blue eggs. And if they're boys, they will carry the blue egg gene because dad carried the blue egg gene and so did mom. So those three. Anyway, if you hear me saying like, we hope they're girls, that's why, because I want to see what eggs they lay. And because I want to keep them. I want to be able to keep them. And we can keep it way more females than we can males. That's just the way it is with chickens. It's the nature of chicken keeping. Roosters don't get along. Hens get along well, and roosters don't get along as well. So that's pretty much where I think I'll leave the vlog for today. Oh my gosh, I've got a friend group to hang out with while we close out the vlog. But I think that's where I'm going to end the vlog today. It's been a really good day. I've had a good time. Next week I will show you the lilac sugar. We'll taste it together and see if we can even taste any lilaciness in it. Yeah, I had a good time. That was a fun little handmade DIY thing that we did, and I think next week we should go back to the forest. I haven't gone to the forest in a couple of days, and I really liked that part of the vlog last time, doing a little hiking. So you let me know what you want to see in the vlog next week, because I will accommodate if possible. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to my patrons. Thank you, all of you backing me on Patreon. I really do appreciate you, and I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. If you're not a patron yet, I will put the link in the description below. The reason that you would want to become a patron, you get access to a private Discord just for patrons, and it's basically a community where we can talk about stuff that's going on. Sometimes I'll share stuff separately there that I don't put anywhere else, and also it's like outside of the live streams and the vlogs. It's a little place where you can get together and ask questions, or even just show off the stuff you're making. It's a nice community. In addition to that, you also get a bullet journal spread. All of my bullet journal spreads, I post them there for patrons, and I'm normally doing it once a week, but for the rest of May, I'm going to be doing it every single day because I really appreciate you guys. Sorry, I can't stop staring at my chickens. They're like the best part of every single day. Look at this beautiful hen. Diane, why you gotta turn your butt to me when I'm talking about how beautiful you are? Anywho, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. Please subscribe if you're new because, oh my god, the sunset is amazing. Subscribe, it's a good time. You should subscribe and like the video and leave a comment and engage with the video and all that. But look at the sunset and I will see you next week. Bye guys.